effect. And saying like that is quite beautiful almost. But, I'll be damned if I've much skill with it. Language isn't my thing. Maybe if I gave it more of a shot. Maybe it's an issue of me lacking belief in myself and having to find a way that works right for me. Or maybe I just don't have an aptitude for it. It's hard to be sure. Because it's quite possible I was just taught it shitly in school. It's quite possible I just not one of my good aspects. But actually, remember. But yeah, anyway, basically those two language groups have a dissimilarity. While English may have some loan words from French, there's no such connection with those language groups. But basically, the ultimate point I was getting at, maybe Irish has a connection with some other, languages. Maybe it has a connection with Scottish or Welsh or something. And as such, maybe I'm staring actually at a Scottish word here and I just don't realise it. Certainly, I've never seen Scottish wrote down before. Hell, I've never even seen it said. Never mind wrote down. So I can't say for certain. But yeah, the meetup. I'm not sure how you say it. It looks Irish. I'm probably not pronouncing it halfway correctly, but Dana Meetup seems an Irishy name. Again, it could be a similar language but not Irish, but I can't be sure. The Mother Goddess, who seems to be an embodiment of the goddess Scoia'tael. The Goddess of Sorceresses was founded after the mutiny on Tanit Island as a substitute for the Council of Sorcerers. The founders' aim was to bring the war between Nilfgaard and the Northern Kingdoms to a close, maintaining the mage's influence on the fate of the world. The organization remains active to this day. It is effectively an association of the most powerful female mages from both the northern and southern realms, though it has significant political influence, though its activities are not entirely understood by the public. Mages. Only rare individuals have the potential to become mages, and many of those with this potential are doomed to madness. Unless the individual in question, also known as the Source, learns to control their power quickly, he or she may end up a half-insane, slobbering oracle. That is why schools of sorcery were created, where talented children studied for many years, acquiring knowledge and mastering magical skills. Because of their powers, mages age more slowly than ordinary people. They can extract magical energy from the four elements, transport themselves long distances and heal as well as kill, the blink of an eye. They have extensive scientific and political knowledge. In the latter respect, many mages are the equals of rulers. Simple folk fail to differentiate between witches, sorcerers, and witchers, and anyone who wields magic is regarded as suspicious and godless. But the better educated and those who dwell in large cities know to treat mages with due respect. The early days of the war with Nilfgaard slowly ended the Brotherhood of Sorcerers, an organization which grouped mages and closely controlled the practice of magic. During the Brotherhood's last assembly, a rebellion broke out on Tanit Island. Some of the mages were accused of high treason, that is, working for Nilfgaard, were either arrested or killed. Many sorcerers won independence and set up smaller associations. In the wake of the rebellion, mages retained their influence. Many of them remained royal advisors, sometimes even ruling countries from behind the scenes. Phillip and strengthened her position as the eminence Greys of Redania, whereas the elf Francisca Finnabar, the Queen of Dolblana, took a greater interest in the affairs of humans, became ruler of the Elven lands in general. Just Marigold, one of the youngest sorceresses, representative of King Foltest, also joined in creating the new order. Magic. Magic is the art of bending the power of chaos to one's will. Practitioners of the art must gather a vast and complicated corpus of knowledge, and it seems women have a special predisposition for it. Sorcerers seek out talented children and teach them. The power bound in spell formula may be used for healing, transportation, destruction, creating illusions, and altering form. The most famous spells are named after the creators, as e.g. Alzur's Thunder or Marigold's Hailstorm. Thanks to the magic, it's also possible to create magical glyphs and amulets such as witches' medallions. Witches' signs are very simple spells, mostly kinetic or mind-influencing. To use them, one needs concentrated will and a hand gesture. Casting signs is not time-consuming, so witches use them on fighting monsters. Magic gifted children are born all over the world. They are called sources. The Brotherhood of Sorcerers was charged with finding and training such children. The Descendants of Laradorn are a special case. Magical gifts are very strong. They can travel through time and space and release the pure energy of chaos. These powers are wild and difficult to control though, and are activated in moments of stress, often surprising their possessor. The power used to cast spells is drawn from the elements. Fire is best, but simultaneously the most dangerous elemental source. In the Witcher books, it's actually quite seductive, and when Ciri has to tap into it, it starts talking about her feeling a sensation of heat and pleasure within her nipples and crotch, and I believe in third place. And I really don't want to hear about a 14-year-old feeling pleasure in her nipples and crotch in a third place. I really don't. I really, really don't. That was such a weird book. She ends up meeting up with some blackguards, some kids around her age-ish, who are thieves. She ends up arrested by someone and brought to a bar. She was going to be ransomed or something. She's captured, let's say, not arrested. And another kid was there captured. The kid's friends broke her out. She ends up fighting off one of the guards, but she's difficulty killing. I'm not sure if she actually goes through with it or not. But she had the guard on ropes due to Witcher training. She was brought to the camp with the kids. Well, I say call them kids, they're like teenagers. But they're kids to me, really. And at that night, she's going to sleep. One of the guys, the guy from the bar, who had also been captured, comes in and starts trying to rape her. Another girl comes in and scares him off. The other girl who came in then proceeds to start raping Ciri herself. Because... yes, of course. And Ciri's pretty fucked up afterwards. I can't remember what she was thinking, but she's... fair bit of self-hate. The power used to cast spells is drawn from the elements. Mages who specialise in magic fire often achieve great power, but they pay a price for it. As fire addicts, they often suffer burns or even die engulfed in flames. The essence of fire becomes their essence, which makes them vulnerable to water. Excuse me. And we are done that. Actually, wait. Cogstein. For the first, Cogstein has dealings with Vizima's criminal element, of criminal underworld, strange company for an alchemist to keep. For the first time since I arrived at Kaer Morhaine, I saw a truly happy man. The door to the tower and the swamp stood wide open. The thought of the alchemical secrets hidden within inside, Cogstein was as delirious as a drunken dwarf. Cogstein is the author of many alchemical works, including a treatise analysing attempts to animate inanimate matter, an activity otherwise known as constructing a golem. Apparently the alchemist has been interested in matter for years. Cogstein's convoluted style makes his work difficult to read. Ada. And I can see the card again if I want. Artistic. Udarvin's reception, a chance to meet Princess Ada. Some years ago I relieved her of Striga curse, and the princess has grown into a pretty, somewhat wild and spoilt girl. Blue eyes. The blue-eyed beauty from the House of the Night has an interesting scar on her neck. Looks just like a vampire bite. Full test. And that's full test there. The king of the city, theoretically a Burgomaster Valrad, is to rule in his stead. In practice, decisions come from an entirely different source, which causes chaos in the city. I met Count the Wet at Uldarvin's reception. He was from Nilfgaard and belongs to the Order of the Flaming Rose and advised King Foltest on behalf of the Order. He's exceptionally loathsome and arrogant and came to hate me from the moment we met. The Wet arrived at the party in the company of Princess Ada. I sensed there was something going on between them. The Wet turned out to be the sworn enemy of Tauer, the chief of Temerian Intelligence Service. Siegfried. Siegfried of Dennis, a knight of the Order in Flaming Rose, is an idealist who adheres to the Order's rules, but is not devoid of common sense. Polite and open, he's unlike many of his brothers from the Order, that he's not prejudiced. He's undeniably courageous and demonstrated this when he descended alone into the sewers to fight the cockatrice. Siegfried and I defeated cockatrice together. I proved both polite and a skilled swordsman. But feeling Siegfried is starting to see through his own misapprehensions. He realized that killing monsters would not eliminate all the evil of this world, and the duties towards the Order sometimes force him to use the greater of two evils. I don't remember when he started seeing that. Maybe it's when he was fighting Scoia'tael and seeing that they're just hungry and poorly armed. That's why they won. During the bank robbery in Trickwater, I opposed Yavin and his forces together with Siegfried. The attack reinforced the knight's conviction that the orders was likely to harm non-humans, and is justified. Taylor. In the temple quarter of Vizima lives a fence named Taylor. He has many things that belong to Berengar, and also deals in legal goods. The fence is a repulsive man, and uses particularly foul language. During the day, he can be found in his store, which is located in a house in the temple's quarter. Taylor put Berengar's witch equipment up for sale. Wonder how he acquired these things. Fence's circle of influence is very wide. It also includes city guards. Turned out that Taylor is chief of Temerian intelligence, and his fence guide is simply one of many assumed personalities. To my surprise, Taylor the Fence was invited to Larvin's reception, at which only the rich and influential were present. Just really groove with this, of course he would be. Taylor is also interested in the political situation of Zima. He's also interested in it. He's also investigating an important case involving forgeries. And here's her. Along with me and the other witchers, Triss fought in defense of Kaer Morhen. The sorcerer stood against the mysterious mage when the leader of the assault. She was injured and lost consciousness. Ironically, Triss is allergic to magic, and she can only be administered natural healing potions. Triss Marigold is my friend. She saw me die, and my return to the world of the living surprised her. Triss is a sorceress, one of the most influential and talented of her kind. She has numerous powerful friends, and she knows the Kaer Morhen witchers. She's one of the few people who knows the way to the fortress. Feeling Triss likes me a lot. After Will's funeral, the sorceress teleported to Vizima. She decided to use her extensive contacts and search for the information on Salamandra. Triss promised to find me as soon as I arrived in Vizima. Triss found me in the swamp, where I lay unconscious after my crash with Azar Javed. She transported me to her house in the trade quarter to carry me until I came round. Lying there awake, however, Triss gossiped with her friend the magic communicator, and I now know that the other sorceresses are also interested in Salamandra. Vampiress. As a witcher, I've met many vampires. However, it is common for these creatures to live amongst humans unnoticed for many years. It seems, however, that it is possible. You remember the other lady, the one I was looking for in the slum? She runs the brothel. Yeah, her talks about these vampiresses. She's jealous of their work, of their place, because it's stealing a lot of her clients. Valrad governs Vizima, the capital of Temeria. In Volta's absence, Valrad holds the highest authority in the city. The Burgmeister knows me from long ago, since he was the one with whom negotiated the contract for lifting Prince Adis Triggergurs. Though I don't remember Valrad, I have a vague feeling that he's grown old and taken to drink since we first met. People say Valrad has lost his authority, and does run the city as efficiently as he used to. I met a talking ghoul, a real freak of nature. Yavin. Even the elf is as conceited as he is eloquent. He seems cunning and wise. Moreover, he despises humans, considering them aggressive barbarians, his only respect for the elder races. Still, this disillusioned elf treats me with respect in his own peculiar way. Everything suggests that Yavin is preparing for battle. The swamp he's created a training camp for the Scoia'tael under his command. And with that, I'm done reading some more. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed all of this, folks, and I'll be back soon to record more. Let's have a quick look at quests. Oh, I never placed the third one. Damn. Okay, when we come back... I'll go finish off that quest. I'll go finish off the source. Then I'm going to head to the swamp, because I've got a lot of quests over there to do. So yeah, I'll go be doing that. Yeah, so I'll go put in that last bit, then I'm gonna head to the swamp. It's me. After that, we'll have to wait and see. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this so far, folks. Oh, actually, I also need to go talk to the other police guy, the one with the drug habit. I need to inform him that I killed the guy and get a reward for it. So we'll do all that when I come back. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this. Let me actually check the time. Maybe I could record for longer. No, I've been awake too long. When I come back, I sincerely hope you join me for it, and I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this so far. I keep saying enjoy me for it. I sincerely hope you join me for it, for the continuation of the series. And I sincerely hope you have enjoyed this so far, and that you join me for future entries in the series. When I'm done this, I do believe I'll be heading straight on to Witcher 2, then Witcher 3. Of course, if I get a bit burned out on the Witcher series, I may splice in a Fallout 3 footage instead. And by splice in, I mean I'll do Fallout 1, then continue on with the Witcher series wherever I've left off. So, I sincerely hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, love and peace.